News Talk K20 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Chris Kroc Show. Okay, the debate tomorrow night. And here we are, our final night together. And this is it. The debate will be going on, and our talking will be going on throughout the night tomorrow night, all night long. That's all we're talking about. And it's going to be spectacular. We're carrying the whole thing, as you've been hearing us announce throughout the day, for days past as well. So about 7:55, we're going to hit the air. I'll introduce and hand you off to the debate. Then you and I will be interacting together on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter right now so you don't forget. And I go nuts. I have a lot of fun with you, and I give you raw, real reactions that actually are very. It's pretty cool. Actually, it's fun. Follow me on Twitter at Chris Kroc Show. That's at Chris Kroc Show. CHRISKROK. That's CHRISKROK. Also on Facebook, same way. And click on the public figure. Click like and share away. Okay. I want to get right into. What do you think is going to happen? What do you predict? This is our last time to talk about it before the debate actually starts. We got some advice from Man on the Street interviews on Fox, and they said it's going to be a sandbox fight. Not expecting them to be respectful whatsoever. Trump can calm down a little bit, hopefully, because he has shown restraint. If he does not, he will lose. I'm here to tell you, that's me saying it. I'm here to tell you right now, if Trump doesn't show restraint tomorrow night, he will lose. He will lose the debate, lose the narrative, and Biden will hit a grand slam by just being alive and moderately decent. Biden is also training right now from his 16-plus people that are, training him, handling him. They've got two full studios built out in Camp David, one in a movie theater and one in a hangar, an airport hangar. This is unbelievable. The guy literally is in the exact same type of facilities that CNN's going to have in two separate locations, 16 different people coaching him, telling him what to do, doing mock debates with him, etc. Do not underestimate Joe Biden. In fact, I think Trump, once again, was really shooting himself in the foot by talking about how Biden's going to drool on himself, fall over himself, not going to be able to talk. They're going to give him the juices, the stuff they need to do to get Biden's energy up. What is that? ADHD drugs. There are drugs for separate prescriptions you can take for Parkinson's and or Alzheimer's and or dementia that take the edge off of you being so grumpy and edgy. Both of those, and I know what ADHD drugs do. I don't take them. My son does. My daughter has. It gives you some hyperactivity type energy, some strong energy. That actually balances out ADHD people, funny enough. But also it gives you focus. Tremendous focus. That's what Joe Biden can take, and I'm sure they have that down to a science. I'm sure they're giving him doses every day as they're doing practicing once a day, etc., perfecting it. So if they have a mess up, they can, figure it out the next day. So do you want Trump to be calm? Do you think he will be calm? Do you think he'll show more restraint? Do you think he'll lose it? Joe Biden's job, according to, and this has never been so broadcast before ahead of time, which is really interesting and kind of weird. But Joe Biden's camp was saying they leaked out stuff. And Dana Perino, comms director at the time for George W. Bush, White House spokesperson, was saying that was really stupid. And that's why apparently they have 18 people now. And so one of them leaked it. And they're saying they're giving Joe all these jabs. It's going to be jabbing, convicted felon, insurrectionist, election denier, everything. They're going to nail it. They're going to deny it. Nail him. He's going to keep nailing him. And the DNC also has billboards put up in Atlanta so that Trump can see them, I'm sure, on the way in to try to trigger him. Donald, welcome to Atlanta for the first time since becoming a convicted felon. Congrats, or whatever. I just tweeted that out on my Twitter feed so you can see that and make your own decision about that. They're trying to trip him. They're trying to trigger him. They're trying to get him to freak out because that's the only way they can win this debate. If Trump actually, all he needs to do is stick on his policies, what he will do, and Joe Biden's policies and how bad it is, make it a referendum on Joe Biden. And no matter how many times it's personal, if he doesn't get tripped up on that when Joe Biden says all these horrible things, then he will win. And the question is, does Donald Trump want to win or not? Because he has gone through so much this year that is insane, ridiculous, destroying our country by trying to put him behind bars because of who he is and because he's running to be president and because he will win again. He has a chance. And right now he is winning again. That's the last piece of this. I'm going to give you some polling numbers that are insanely good for Trump as of right now that just came out today from very respected people. And I can guarantee you this is making the Democrats poop their pants today. But I'll share that with you in a second. The first thing is I want to ask some questions, and I want you to chime in right now at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Which do you predict, a sandbox fight or restraint? Do you predict a decent substantive debate, or do you predict constant personal attacks like in that second debate in 2020 where Trump super lost? And number two, do you think Biden will fall apart and talk gibberish, or do you think he will hold steady? And do you think Trump could actually end up defeating himself tomorrow night by doing what I just described? Freaking out, getting all nasty, losing his cool, and, yelling. I'm going to play for you. I have the muted mic, what it sounds like. CNN, fake news CNN, released a 1-minute video. I've got it. I'm going to play it on the air for you of what it sounds like. They have 2 different fake news CNN anchors, one on each podium. That it's all set up, obviously, for tomorrow night. And you hear them they show what the muted mic looks like for each candidate and what it looks like when it's on. And it shows, so they have each anchor on each podium testing to hear if you can see what they're saying when it's muted. And you're going to hear that for yourself. I'm going to tell you right now, Trump's going to look like an ass if he tries to yell over this thing or do some stupid game. He better not, because I want to win. I want him to win. And he has put his eyes down and stared directly like in his mugshot and said, I'm going to kick your ass, Joe, but not in the way you usually are used to. I'm not going to attack you. I'm going to attack your policies, your history, and I'm going to show why if you want to win, calm yourself and kick his ass. Excuse my language. And I think that's what he might do. And if I was him going in on that limo, seeing those billboards, I would say, I'm going to nail you so hard you didn't know it. And I'm going to nail you by doing the opposite of what you think I'm going to do. I'm going to put my nose down. I'm going to nail you. And I'm going to nail you by not reacting. And I'm going to win, because I'm going to win right now as of today in every poll we see. I'm going to whop you, you corrupt SOB. But he can't do this. And he will be jail-bound in the state of New York if he plays this stupid game. He is his own worst enemy, and I demand he stop doing that. I want to win. He can go nuts and be himself in 6 months, but he's got to win this race. It is so important beyond him, for this country, for you, for me, our freedoms, everything. And I got so much stuff to share with you over the next 2 hours, because we're really dedicating everything on this tonight for the first 2 hours of the show at least. And I've got so much for you on what they're doing with how the DNC is funding all of this. Every single one of these legal actions, the DNC is funding it all. Everything with Trump, like the New York case, DNC funded that. The case with E. Jean Carroll, DNC funded that. All these cases the DNC is funding. This is literally the Democrat Party's political strategy. Charge Trump and jail Trump. Charge Trump and jail Trump. Charge Trump and jail Trump. Get him labeled a rapist even though he's not. Everything. And so what do you want to do? You want to yell and scream and interrupt and look like a twit like you did 4 years ago in that second debate, not the first one, the second one? Then you're going to lose, and you're going to screw us. Every one of us. We are all counting on you to whoop his butt tomorrow, but not by the way you usually do it. By the way you've 3/4 or half the time shown it yourself. Restraint. Because that's how you can win, and then you win everything. And we want you to, which is why I'm so passionate, going so nuts. I didn't plan on going this nuts, but I'm so passionate. I want this man to win, and he can easily, well, not easily, but he can really win this one. But it's up to him. It is truly up to one person, not Joe Biden, not the Democrat Party, not any prosecutor. It's up to one man, and his name is Donald Trump. That's it. Well, there was my little impromptu going nuts session. All right. Which do you predict? Your reaction to my going nuts session there for a second. 800-288, my unplanned going nuts session. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Which do you predict? A sandbox fight or restraint? Do you think Biden's going to fall apart and talk gibberish, or will he hold steady? He's going to hold steady. And do you think Trump will end up defeating himself tomorrow night? As I've alluded to, possibly. I hope not. And could this debate change your vote? That's one of the things I haven't heard yet. Could this debate actually change your vote? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Amazingly, the lines are wide open at this time. Call in and talk to us here. Let's hear your talk to me. I want to hear your thoughts. And this is our last chance together before the big thing happens tomorrow that could literally change the course of this election. From right now, you're not going to believe the numbers I have for you. From Nate Silver, the insanely well-regarded pollster, supposedly, particularly from Democrats, he is a Biden supporter. I can clearly tell you that over a Trump. But what he has today is not good for Biden, and it is good for Trump. That is next. Plus, I'll play the audio of Fake News CNN, what it'll sound like when the mics are muted, as one anchor talks for a muted mic and the other one talks with the mic on, the other mic on. It's going to be interesting. You're going to hear it all next.
If we go behind the podiums, you can see two green lights. When they're on, they signal to the candidate his microphone is on. When the green lights are off, they signal to the candidate his microphone is off. Now I want to give you a sense of what it will look like for viewers at home if a candidate whose microphone is off interrupts a candidate whose microphone is on. So I'm standing at one podium, and I'll ask Phil to come in and take the other podium. And so let's say I'm answering a question. My light is green, and I'm speaking. Phil's microphone is off, and his green lights are not illuminated. He's going to interrupt me as I'm speaking, and this is what it will sound like. My volume remains constant, while Phil's interruption can be difficult to understand.
Now, let's try the opposite. My microphone is now on. Victor's microphone is off, and he's going to interrupt me. My volume remains constant, while Victor's interruption can be difficult to understand. Now, CNN's production team has shared this demonstration with the campaigns earlier today, and we're sharing it with you, our viewers, so everyone fully understands how tomorrow night will work. Now, we should note, by agreeing to participate in this debate, both campaigns and candidates have also agreed to abide by these rules. The CNN presidential debate airs live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
And on WBAP, starting at 7:55, I will be here to introduce you to it. Okay, so I didn't hear much of anything, did you? You barely could hear something in the background. They're going to have a split screen. They're going to show some idiot candidate on the other side, whoever it is, trying to say stuff, and they're going to look like an absolute idiot. And they're going to do that to Trump as much as they can. These people do not like him. They hate him. I have a list that I'll be doing coming up next at 8:30 of the 15 overtly, rabidly biased things that Jake Tapper and Dana Bash separately have said individually at Trump over the years. Extremely biased things. They seek to destroy him. They see him as an enemy of the state and to be jailed, and he must be destroyed and removed. They despise him. They're very happy they can do this tomorrow night so they can destroy his candidacy. That's what they seek to do. That is their number one goal above everything else. Clearly, it is not ratings, as it shows. My questions for you are a couple. Which do you predict? A sandbox fight tomorrow night or restraint? A decent substantive debate or constant personal attacks? Joe Biden will be doing that, by the way. That's in their plan. They said it today. Do you think Biden will fall apart and talk gibberish, or will he hold steady? I think he's going to do great for his condition, which means minimally decent, which means he'll win if Trump freaks out. Do you think Trump could end up defeating himself tomorrow night? Yes, he could if he chooses to go that route. I hope he doesn't. Could this debate change your vote? I understand that many people actually it might. There are some listeners that have called in on my show that have said they're open to going either way. With that said, we got four lines open. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227 on the debate eve. Momentarily, you'll have polls from Quinnipiac and Nate Silver that show it is a slam dunk right now for Trump, but that doesn't mean anything because we're 5 months out and the debate will decide a lot tomorrow night. Mike in Louisville, WBAP.
Chris, you're a great American. So no matter what happens, I'm voting for the felon.
The convicted felon.
Yeah, I'm voting for the felon.
Yes, so, I'm not voting for the felon. I'm voting for the convicted felon because that's how they say it.
Oh, the convicted felon.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to make it as bad as possible, and I'm still voting for him. Yes, go ahead, sir.
I think he's going to be restrained. I'm hoping that despite the drugs they have him pumped up with, he gets some good word salad answers in there.
Yes. I hope he gets some of the... never mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stumbles across his own words.
Yes.
I want Trump to get the laptop in there. I want him to go after. I want him to go after Joe for an apology to the American people because he knowingly lied to cover up that laptop.
Yeah, but he can't make that. If he makes that a big deal, he loses.
No. I know, but
gotta be quick. Joe, you lied to us 4 years ago. Joe, you lied to us 4 years ago. Are you going to apologize for lying and for putting that letter together with 51 former intelligence officials by Tony Blinken? Yeah.
Yeah, bring it up, just get out there. The other thing is the fake photo that the FBI took in Mar-a-Lago.
Yes.
Of the that they didn't find those there. They brought those documents with them, those cover sheets.
Yeah, I know.
And then placed it in Mar-a-Lago. I want him to get that out there.
I don't want him to get it out there much. I want him to only use it in response to when Joe brings it up. I do not want him to get it out there. I don't want him to bring it out there only in response to Joe Biden bringing it up.
Okay.
If he does it, he'll lose. If he leads with these things, any of them, he loses. He loses.
I want him to use them as response to Joe. I think Joe's going to bring those things up. I think he's bringing up
everything.
Everything needs to be responded to with what's been done. And Dana Bash, his husband, was one of the idiots that voted. That put his signature on for the laptop saying it's Russian disinformation. When Trump wins, all 51 of those people need to have all of their security clearances
immediately revoked. They must be permanently barred from ever working with us again, ever having any a clearance to anything. Immediately. They lied. They know it, and they're still lying. No problem. You're out. You're excommunicated. You're excommunicado. Thank you for your call, Mike. And what do you predict is going to go down? Do you predict Trump's going to be cool-headed and not freak out? Or do you predict he's going to beat himself and go nuts and shoot himself in the foot and make sure he can lose? He can lose again. If he tries hard enough, he can lose again. I'm being serious. It makes me mad when he loses like that.
No, I think he's going to be restrained. He understands the gravity of this and that he's debating three people, not just one person.
That's exactly right. And last but not least, do you actually? So you think he will be restrained? Okay. And do you believe he has been fairly restrained for the past several months on the campaign trail?
Oh, absolutely. I think he has.
I agree. Thanks for your call. Thank you very much. All right, we have two lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. We got two lines open. I want to hear from you. What do you think is going to go down with this debate tomorrow? Do you predict a sandbox fight or a restraint in a decent substantive debate or a constant personal attacks? We know Biden will. What do you think Trump will do? And then do you think Biden will fall apart or will he hold steady? And do you think Trump could actually end up defeating himself tomorrow night, as I do, if he chooses to be all nasty? And could this debate change your vote? Next, I want to give you a couple things. Immediately give you the polling numbers, as I promised. And then we're also going to get into this. I'll start sharing with you in the next segment Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. The first 5 things they've said that are rabidly biased against Trump, showing they want to remove the man from power and put him in jail. All that's coming up next in the Chris Kroc Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. Y'all, here's the polling before we go to Ken in Arlington, plus your call at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. National poll, this is from Nate Silver, the Uber pollster, as some regard him as, one of the top ones in the whole country. The big picture, who's favored to win the presidency, he says, after he has like a lengthy paper and all his research. Chance of each candidate has winning Electoral College or the popular vote in the 2024 presidential election, and our best predictions of the outcome based on 40,000 simulations from our model. The Electoral College probability for Biden, 33.7% that he actually wins the Electoral College. 33.7%. Trump, 65.7%, literally almost exactly double. Trump's odds are 2-1 over Biden as of today, according to Nate Silver. Also, who would win the popularity vote? What's the probability of that? Funny enough, this time around, Biden may win the popular vote, but lose the election. And it shows, even though there's a 2-1 odds on Trump winning, The popular vote will be won possibly by 2 points. He predicts 2 points, which is close enough anyway. It doesn't matter. The popular vote doesn't elect people, nor should it. Today, the Quinnipiac polls, which is no friend of ours, traditionally and truthfully, but Quinnipiac poll today shows, this is a national poll, which again, it doesn't matter. What matters is the swing states, but nonetheless, Quinnipiac says Trump up today by 4 nationally. If it's one-on-one, Trump's up by 4. Okay, he's gone up. He's up +2, and Biden's down -3. So Trump is now up by 4 in Quinnipiac's national poll. If you include RFK Jr., Jill Stein, Cornel West, and somebody I don't even know that name, you will get 43 Trump and 37 Biden. So Trump will win by 6 instead of 4. Take your pick. He wins by 4 nationally or 6. That's incredible, isn't it? Wowie. And it shows when you have all of them in there, it shows Trump from the last poll they did, I guess, May. So since a month ago, Trump went up. When you include everybody, including RFK Jr. and Jill Stein and Cornel West, Trump goes up 5 from last month. Biden went down 4, and RFK Jr. went down 3. Jill Stein, Cornel West did the same. Okay? So it's bad. So that's why I'm like, Trump cannot lose it. Trump cannot get personal. Trump cannot hurt himself. I want to add a few extra things into the fold as we continue our discussion tonight at 800. This is the last discussion before the debate. This is it, guys. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. 4 lines open. We're asking you, what do you predict, a sandbox fight or restraint? Do you think Trump will end up defeating himself tomorrow night? I want to add in a few more questions. I just shared with you the Washington poll. There's a Washington poll post I'll share with you about democracy. Who's trusted more in democracy? Shocker. It's Trump. It's Trump. The Washington Post, the most liberal, Trump-hating, destroy Trump, love Biden, destroy Trump, Trump bad, jail Trump, kill Trump, whatever you want to say. The worst of the worst. The Washington Post poll shows that Trump is much more trusted than Joe Biden is on democracy. Well, that's Joe Biden's whole platform. It really is. So that plus the polls I just gave you, how likely do you think Trump is to win the election in November? That's a new question I'm introducing. And what does he need to do tomorrow night? Okay? 4 lines open, 800-288-WBAP. Let's go to Ken in Arlington. Ken, you're on 820 AM. No, I should say this. We have a new way of doing it. Ken, you're on WBAP. Hi, Ken.
Hey, Chris, now if you had to do it with sign language, I guess everybody would get screwed if you're doing the call letters in sign language.
Oh, yeah. I just did them while you were talking. You can watch me online on Facebook Live right now on the Chris Crock Show.
I saw it. I'm reading Braille right now. So
that's great. Are you speaking in Braille?
It all depends on what I had to drink the night before, maybe.
Okay.
On this mute button thing, I think if the person controlling the mute button thinks that Trump is talking bad about Biden, he'll unmute it just to embarrass Trump.
Well, if they do that, they're going to break their own rules, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, but look at CNN.
Okay. I promised to share I'll just share a couple tidbits. I'll keep sharing these every segment, and you can join me while I share this. Okay, there's 15 times Jake Tapper has attacked Trump on the air. I'll just share a couple right now, and there's also 15 times listed from Breitbart. Both of these are from Breitbart that Dana Bash attacked Trump. Here we go. Tapper suggested Trump was a nightmare for, quote, tens of millions of our fellow Americans. Their long national nightmare is over when he lost. Number 2, he claimed Trump continues to lie to the American people about coronavirus testing. Number 3, he retweeted a post that called Trump 100% insane. All right, those are just 3. Dana Bash, the first 3 for her out of 15 times she attacked Trump directly. 1, she accused Trump of race baiting. 2, she suggested Trump is sexist. 3, she claimed Trump made anti-Semitic remarks. Okay, so these people cannot give Trump a fair hearing. They're going to interrupt him. They're going to say he's wrong, I truly think. a lot more than Joe Biden. They're going to do everything they can to try to pull the weight for him because they know he's dead in the water right now. Go ahead with what else you had to say, Ken, or was that it, my friend?
No, well, I think I'm all for Trump, no matter what it is. I mean, if he bottled his own spit, I'd buy it because he's a winner no matter what, and that's what we need. Reagan was a winner in his era, and it did wonders for America. Trump's a winner in his era, which was the last presidency and hopefully this future presidency, and we need to get back on that track. If we don't get back on that track, gas is going to be $10 a gallon and everything else, and we can't do that. Groceries, do
you agree that Trump is his own worst enemy tomorrow night, and he will either defeat himself or win tomorrow night by the way he conducts himself?
Oh, yeah, and I think for 89 minutes, Trump needs to be quiet.
I think the other thing is, too, that many of us do not understand how big of a deal tomorrow night is. Many of us do not understand that tomorrow night there's going to be so many people watching that haven't watched at all, and this will be the first time they were paying attention, and many of them will be making their decisions based on what they see tomorrow night, or the seeds of their decisions tomorrow night, and it could be changed based on what they see. Their memories of Trump are so much better than Biden. If he continues to act that way, he will win. Josh in Fort Worth, you're on you're on. Welcome to WBAP. Hello, Josh.
Hey, Chris. I think Trump should just talk to the American people tomorrow. Forget about what the moderator is going to do because no matter what, they're going to. It's a dirty debate.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yes.
So you should just talk to the American people. Like you said, there's going to be people who weren't paying attention in the past 8 years. So this is the first time. If he actually talks to the American people, I think that would actually increase his numbers.
I'll tell you,
numbers don't mean anything because it's the Democrats going to cheat again.
He can't ignore what the questions are, and he can't ignore what Joe Biden brings up. He's got to respond to it. You're not saying just totally ignore that, just do whatever he wants, are you?
No, I'm saying, in response to the questions, but make it so he's talking to the American people, not talking to Joe Biden or talking to
right. I would talk strictly to American people. I think you're right, and don't look for them for anything like this. Everybody here in the room knows it. Don't say that because they'll all deny it, even if you're right. So you don't invoke them. Invoke the American people. Everybody watching tonight knows. The polls show that they're sick of this. They can't afford anything. You've made their lives expensive and miserable. All right.
Correct.
All right, Josh, thanks for your call tonight. Appreciate you. All right, we got Trey in Duncanville will be next. We got 4 lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. How likely do you think Trump is to win the election in November? What does he need to do tomorrow night, and what does he need to not do tomorrow night? This is it. The debate's tomorrow. 800-288-WBAP is our number. Look at this. I got a few more of these to share with you, and we'll keep sprinkling them throughout, but the 15 different things, 15 different times Jake Tapper and 15 times Dana Bash separately. They're the two moderators on Fake News CNN tomorrow night have directly attacked Trump. What's his name? Tapper shamed Trump upon being hospitalized for the coronavirus. He described Trump's presidency as a, quote, disaster. He ran a segment about the alleged shape of Trump's penis. Now, they did clarify it, Breitbart did when they wrote this. They did say that they have a little explanation. The article incorrectly said Tapper ran 2 reports on the alleged shape of his penis. Tapper only fixated on Trump's penis for 1 report. In fact, it was they later had Don Lemon interview Stormy Daniels on the subject of his penis. The text had been updated to correct this inaccuracy. Okay. I pray they don't talk about that tomorrow night, but if they do, it'll make him look good and them look bad. All right? A couple more things that Dana Bash has said to nasty claims, as Breitbart says. Alleged former Vice President Mike Pence's life was threatened by January 6 rioters provoked by Trump. That's false. Said Trump's coronavirus briefing was propaganda after he contradicted the CDC director. Accused Trump of being anti-science. Okay? So there's 3 more. These tidbits keep coming, y'all. All right, let's go to John in Fort Worth. Oh, wait. Trey first or John? Trey? Okay, Trey, then John. Trey, what do you got? WBAP.
Thank you for taking my call. I'd like to make several points, some that you may like and some others that you may not like.
I already don't like
First of all, I hope and pray that Trump remains calm, cool, and collective. If he is combative and cantankerous, it will blow up in his face.
Look at you use the cantankerous word. That's good, yeah.
Okay.
Obstreperous would be another word. Obstreperous. Go ahead, sir.
And then I would say I think there's too much stock put in the polls right now. I think we as Trump supporters ought to pretend that we're at least 10 to 20 points behind.
Yes, 10 points is better, not 20. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And then secondly, I think you're awesome. You may not like what I'm about to say, but I think...
Wait, before you do, let me add something on the polls. Trump was behind by about 5 to 7 right now in all these swing states, and now he's ahead in many of them. Doesn't mean he's going to win. We got 5 more months. Go ahead.
Well, I think you're also making a mistake by not concentrating on the Congress, especially with the Senate, because they get to determine who gets to be on the
focus on what?
The Supreme Court, the Senate, especially. Okay, because if you recall history, Ronald Reagan, he tried to nominate Bork, and he got shot down by Kennedy and the Democrats. Yes, and I'm just saying, if Trump gets to be president, I hope, and he's stuck with a Democratic,
I agree.
He's going to be stuck with a lot of liberal, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Trey, I don't have any disagreement with you. I appreciate your call, and now let's go to John in Fort Worth. You're on. Hi, I should say WBAP. Hi, John.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What I was calling about is I think we're looking at this dead microphone somewhat wrong. I think they're going to mute Biden so we don't hear all of his gaffes while Trump's speaking.
Do you think in the middle of his 1.5 minutes he's allotted, or whatever it is, that when he messes up, they're going to mute it and just let him sit there going?
I wouldn't doubt it. I think it's more about protecting Biden than it is to silence
I think they're going to look really bad if they do that. I don't think that's going to be possible. I think they have to let it run. Because if he's muted, then there'll be no sound.
Well,
and his mouth will be moving, there'll be no sound.
But if Trump is speaking and Biden's over there mumbling, they don't want necessarily his mumbles and gaffes on the air.
If Trump's speaking, Biden's mic will be muted, period. That's how the rules are.
But that's why they're doing it.
No. Biden doesn't mumble when he's... he mumbles when he's supposed to be talking.
Okay, I just think...
You think he mumbles when he's not supposed to be talking? He just sits there when it's like when it's not his time to talk. He just sits there and mumbles to himself
and walks off when he's not supposed to.
Yes, but that's not mumbling to himself.
Okay.
You don't.
I disagree. I think it's more to protect Biden.
Okay. He was the one who wanted it. Trump agreed to everything. And by the way, we can't complain about things tomorrow night. You know why? Trump agreed to it all. If Trump plays that tomorrow night, then he's being a baby for the situation he agreed to do. He didn't equivocate. He said, I'm in. So that's on him. The mute's going to help Trump, and it's going to hurt Biden. He's going to wish he didn't do that. You watch. Okay, we'll talk to Gary in Arlington next, plus your call at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Trump is trusted more than Biden on democracy among all the key swing state voters, according to the Washington Post. Those details, plus your call, are next.